I went to Hong Kong and I studied at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and that was for 1 year. I chose to go to Hong Kong because for me it was the biggest change. I really wanted to go somewhere that was really different to anywhere I'd been before. So I'd sort of been on holiday in Europe, I'd been once to America, and I thought Asia was the place that I'd never been there. It seems really different, sort of throwing myself in the deep end. So that's what, yeah, I chose to go to Asia for that reason, knowing very little about it, to be honest. I chose to go abroad as a part of the degree. I guess there's many reasons to that. One reason is definitely the economic reason, which sounds really boring, but I knew that I would not get the opportunity financially to go abroad again. Just take a year out of work or whatever you're doing and just go and study and be somewhere for a reason. So for me, that was one of the key reasons. Two, obviously, everybody wants to, I feel everybody wants to explore the world, and I wanted to see, a different place, live in a different environment. And I mean, thirdly, it's just exciting, just pure excitement. And yeah, that was probably the be-all and the top reason for going abroad, yeah. Being able to do the year abroad was something that really differentiated the course from other places. And on top of that, it wasn't just the fact that you could just go abroad, it was the fact that you were going to a really good university. So even though Kent is a good university, you can pair that off with another really good university, which obviously increases, your employability and the types of people that you're going to meet, and the different styles that you're going to learn in. So for me, yeah, that was definitely a big reason for coming to Kent. That is one really good element of it, being able to go into an academic environment that is so different, not only in the academic requirements, but in the teaching styles and the academics that you meet. And they're obviously from vastly different cultural backgrounds, and that really does opens you up to different sort of ways of learning and styles of learning that really pushed me. I know in particular my course doing sociology, it was so relevant because all I'd had was a very sort of Western centric idea of what is social theory or political theory. When you get out there, you almost find that they're not too bothered about the West and they're more bothered about Asia, and that obviously, I mean, you can't put a value on that. That idea of knowing how other parts of the world view you and how you view other parts of the world, and it just gives you such like an enriched view of your learning style. And that was really good. What did I enjoy most? Too many things. I enjoyed the people a lot. The people are a big factor, and I imagine that varies from place to place. But for me, I feel like the people that you meet when you go abroad are all people that are driven, that want to do something, that want to go abroad, and they're all exciting. Other things that I enjoyed was just being in a different environment that was so far away from home, and you were there for a reason. That was the really good thing about it. So you had your own place, you had your own life, like this alternate reality for a year, and that makes it really exciting. And what was it? What else did I like? God, there's just so much. The traveling was amazing, because being in Asia, the flights were so cheap and the food was so cheap, so you could experience so much of it. And on top of that, the course was also really exciting. I was being taught by professors from Yale, and the insights that they had were just incredible. And because you're at one of the top schools, you really are on the pinnacle of like world research. So that was again another enjoyable aspect of it. So my experiences when compared with my expectations were, I think when I got out there, I was really worried. You get on a plane and you're on your own, you do a 13-hour flight and you think, oh my, like what's going to happen when I land, and who are the people that are going to be there. But you know, you're made aware of the people that are going beforehand and the connections that you'll make when you land. And so, you know, I got to the airport and I met people. You put in a taxi and then it just all that disappears, all them worries, and you just instantly start having fun. So in that respect, I was really worried about, you know, being alone, not having any friends, that it was going to be too hard, and just all of them things just weren't true. It's just you don't even think about it once you get there. It just happens. Everything clicks into place. And especially at CUHK, you know, they had tons of procedures. They had a whole week designated for you to integrate and make sure that you felt welcome. So yeah, I guess that's how my expectations were like put to one side. Yeah. So studying in Hong Kong differed. One, it's warm, incredibly warm, and that makes a big difference. Two, you get a cultural perspective on your learning style that you don't get anywhere else. And on top of that, it's the academic element of it is the thing that really encouraged me, and like showed me that, okay, if I can do well in this environment, I can also do well in other environments. And it just gives you that, because when you're at university, especially when you're at Kent, this is the only example you've had of degree study up to this point. When you go somewhere else, it gives you that confidence to think, you know, I can do masters, or I can do, you know, other things in that respect. Studying abroad really helped me to make some really good connections that I don't think I would have made otherwise. One particular one was I ended up working the summer afterwards for a developmental think tank in Washington DC, and again that was through people that I'd met abroad, just because of the caliber of people that are going to the university that you're going to, and that was an amazing opportunity. On top of that, studying abroad helped me to think more globally about my studies and the way that I wanted to move forward. So on top of that, I've now applied to do a master's because of the links with education. And on top of that, I just secured an internship for the European Union. And again, this was through just realising that I don't want to be settled in one place now. It just really kick-started this drive. It's a negative in that respect, that you thought you were comfortable before, and that the comfort's just taken away from you because you just now want to see more places and do more things, and really kickstarts that fire in you, definitely. Going abroad's helped my studies in that, one, it's definitely making me more driven. So coming back has made me realise that once I was out there, I did really well, and I want to keep that momentum when I come back. And it's helped me be more driven because you see the different elements of education and the different ways of learning, and that you can apply those different theories that you learn out there, and you come back with a much more globalized view of your subject. And I remember one of my lecturers saying to me before I went to study abroad, he was like, you'll find that the people that go and study abroad come back and their writing and their attainment increases significantly. And he said that's just part and parcel of going, seeing somewhere different, like stepping out of your environment and just having that world view of things, having that larger cultural perspective. And I can completely agree with that sentiment. I've come back and my grades have definitely increased. My writing style's improved. It's just, I don't know how you explain it. You just get it's holistic view of things. Just see things from different perspectives. Going abroad, so personally, has helped me through the independence thing. Is a big element of it, because before I went abroad, I would have been quite nervous about moving to a different place. I would have been really worried about visas and settling down, and how do I make friends in a place, and how do I establish myself and create a network. But once you go abroad and you realise that all that comes together in like 5 days, and you'll just make friends, and everybody's willing to interact with you. There's so many things established for you. Personally, it's just helped me to just apply that to every scenario. So every society that you enter, or every job that you go into, is just you know that it's not going to be a problem. It's just going to work in the same way. So I think studying abroad is going to help my employment and my future prospects, in that I think employers look more favourably on the fact that you've been driven enough to like push yourself and go further and see different things. For me personally, I want to study education and international development, and for any master's degree that I want to study, they want 6 months to 12 months in a lower income country. And so teaching in China, which what I did when I was out there, gave me that opportunity to do something. In any other circumstance, to teach for a year, just that would have been, it would have cost so much money. But obviously, because I was already out there, you can take advantage of opportunities while you're there. And that's what CUHK did, and they gave you those opportunities. So, you're expanding your CV, you're expanding yourself, and you're expanding your employment opportunities all in one go, instead of just doing one thing at a time. Yeah, my idea of cultures and people has definitely changed a lot. There is an understanding of the way, as a sociologist, there's only so much you can get from textbooks. So when you go out there, a prime example of this is when I went to Cambodia, and you learn about, all the genocide that happened there and the killings, and then you understand like how the society was structured from that. And you actually go and you visit the graves, and I know this sounds quite dark, but there's something that you just, the emotions that you feel and the understanding of the people and those contexts, you obviously get that for the people, but then it makes you think, you go, oh wow, how does this apply to every other culture, every other individual in the world? And for me personally, it was really interesting to hang around with people from so many different backgrounds. In one friendship group, you've got people from Latin America, North America, Europe, Africa, Asia, all these different parts of the world. And so through that, you get this mix match of just cultural identities and jokes, and you're learning about other people's cultures. And so it taught me loads about people, loads about cultures, loads about what people are interested in. And yeah, you can do that forever and never reach your limit. My language skills in Cantonese did improve a little bit. Naturally, you're living out there a year, and you're within the environment, and you were given every opportunity to learn a language. Just unfortunately, Cantonese is considered the hardest language on earth, pretty much. So picking up vast amounts of it were pretty tricky. But I know a lot of my friends that actually who went there beforehand with the knowledge, like did starter courses and stuff. And if you're in an environment learning the language, that's the best way to do it. And they picked up a lot of stuff, definitely. But me, no. Yeah, you didn't need any language skills, no. Because all my courses were in English, and they let you know the courses that you could take beforehand. And even that wasn't limiting. There was still plenty of courses that were in English, and I still had a choice. There was a surplus of choices even after that. So no language barriers at all. The support on both ends of the experience were really good. I had Hazel, for example. Hazel was a key catalyst for me, actually, because at one point I was on the fence, like in terms of finances, and Hazel, really gave me a good kick and showed me the scholarships that I was entitled to, and like how much things were going to cost, and that was a really good support this end. So giving me the boot to actually get out there. And I remember Hazel coming out, and I was like, I can't thank you enough for encouraging me. Like, I just can't think of my life having not done this. But on the other side of the fence, when you got there in CUHK, I mean, yeah, the support was amazing. They had a whole integration week where you have a big block of flats to yourself, just the exchange kids, and you all get to know each other. And then, you know, you go out for meals, you go for events, they give you tours around the city. This is over the course of 7 days. So by the end of those 7 days, you know, you feel like you've made best friends already. So the support both ends was really good. Any worries that I had were dealt with straight away. Never at any point did I feel like I'm alone in this situation. It's changed my outlook on everything. It's really given me a desire to move forward and really think about where I want to be in the world now. On top of that, it's incredibly fun. You're never going to get an opportunity to just take a year out of your life and study. Just education for the sake of education is such a rarity, and everything, yeah, I just can't imagine having not done it. It was just a fantastic experience. It was so much fun. It was so inspiring. It was so enriching. It was, yeah, I'd do anything to relive that year again, honestly. Yeah, it's an amazing experience.